Greetings, humans. Zbot4096 here, talking about A Quiet Place Day 1, releasing this weekend in Earth theaters. Now, to cut to the chase, we were somewhat underwhelmed. Just not enough whelm compared to what we had hoped to see. And we'll explain that. But first, let's touch on our basis of evaluating this film. Like all franchise follow-ups, the film has to expand the story without repeating it. We can't truly say we experienced that here. The original film, 2018's A Quiet Place, directed by John Krasinski, who also starred as the father, with Emily Blunt as the mother, told the story of their family surviving a post-apocalypse in which alien creatures with exceptional hearing attack anything that makes a sound. 2020's A Quiet Place 2, again directed by Krasinski, follows the survivors of that first film as they attempt to coalesce a community with other survivors. So far, so good. The specific nature of the aliens' senses brought an original twist to a familiar genre and created a sense of tension that melded perfectly with the rhythms of a horror film. The current film, A Quiet Place Day 1, is instead written and directed by Michael Sarnowski, who previously directed the critically acclaimed Pig, which we haven't seen yet, but are inclined to after seeing the strong character performances of the leads in this new film. This film stars Lupita Nyong'o, who always draws your attention, whether she's playing Maz Kanata in Star Wars sequels, or Nakia in Black Panther movies, or leading creepy Jordan Peele movies like Us. In this case, we got more of what we expect from this talented actor, which is as much a credit to the writing and directing from Sarnowski. Nyong'o plays Sam, a hospice patient who has given up on life since it's being torn away from her, but for the connection she has with her cat, Frodo. She is forced to read a poem that is immediately bitter and absolutely hilarious, and we are, audience-wide, instantly with her for the film. They go into New York City, and then the aliens attack. From that point, Sam and Frodo, and yes, Mr. Sarnowski, we see what you did there, they keep, and we'll keep your theme going. So Sam and Frodo, they embark on a journey across Midtown to fulfill a quest that could well claim their lives. Now, many of the other characters come and go through the film with much less impact, perhaps as a statement on the helplessness of the situation, except for Henry, played by the wonderful Jaimon Hounsou from Gladiator, the MCU. He's Korath, who says the best line in the whole MCU, which is, "Who?" I hope I didn't destroy the speakers with that, but it's my favorite line. And also the Shazam movies. Anyway, due as much to his extraordinary ability to tell a breadth of emotions without uttering a single word, we understand his pressures and self-doubt, which serve as double duty to inform his role when he reappears in the second film. Another key character that lands in a credible way is Eric, played by Joseph Quinn, who you may recognize as Eddie Munson from Stranger Things. He connects with Sam in a very authentic and unforced way, and given the setting of the action, they are forced to listen to each other. And as they exert themselves in order to survive, they each take time to allow themselves to show and prioritize a more meaningful connection to each other and the value of the quality of life as compared to its volume. Pretty weighty stuff. The film shows us this without heavy-handed exposition telling us this, and essentially presents as a meaningful indie film carefully wrapped in an action horror wrapper. That action horror aspect is also presented well. The aliens are still horrifying. Their menace and lethality are not one bit diminished by the familiarity of the two previous films. Sarnowski has a deft hand in presenting those scares in a way that still seem fresh, which dovetails with the growing set of relationships and hopes that the audience develops for the characters on the screen. Now, while it sounds like we really like this movie, doesn't it? We're talking about a lot of very positive things in it. So why did we have such a qualified beginning to this video? Well, we'll tell you. We'll tell you. We're not, going to let that slip. We are underwhelmed because this movie is sold as a prequel that tells the story of day one. It's in the title. It's in all of the marketing. The big questions we have from the first two movies are, where did the aliens come from? Are they intelligent? And what was the overall human response to their arrival? As intelligent alien beings ourselves, we are sensitive not only to our representation in human films, but also how our story is told. As it happens, none of this is explained. Again. It's apparently not important to the filmmakers, which, maybe is fair. But even if that's so, then don't pretend that you're going to expand on those things when you don't actually do that. For one, this film is not a prequel. We do get glimpses of the shock of the alien attack in the earlier films, and we pretty much get that same small portion of that here. We don't get a high-level view of the human response. We just get a small attack and then a highly focused story about a small family of circumstance as they try to survive the film. So, less a prequel and more of a Side-Quel, if you will. Another angle, another take on the films we already got. As for the nature of the aliens themselves, we see their behavior as that of pack-hunting animals, again, but we also see them arrive on Earth in comet-like fashion. We don't see any alien technology, although we do see them gathering for an alien slime pouch snack, which doesn't look yummy. Now, what is that about? Where were these slime pouches from their ship? Did they grow them here? We would like to know these things. The other angle is, of course, that they are not intelligent and not capable of developing spaceflight. It's, after all, a fairly complex thing to pull off. I mean, the repairs alone, that'll just add up for you. So actually being able to do it in the first place is not easy. Anyway, another interesting idea that could be what is happening, which we are filling in, making up, is that these aliens are a space-borne pathogen that infects planets that happen to have existing life. They could be a natural life form adrift in the galaxy, for which this is a natural part of their development and their ecosystem. Or they are bioengineered by another intelligent species in the galaxy to first deploy to another world so as to clear that existing ecosystem for colonization by said intelligent species. Now, of course, this is entirely speculation on my part. I am making that up, and we have no recent examples from the reality of galactic life to rattle off such a silly idea and worry all you cute little humans about it. Forget we mentioned it. Let's move on. File that one away somewhere. Anyway, to return to the core of our critique of the film, there was a huge opportunity to expand the context of the first two films. Instead, we got a very narrow, if well done, alternative story in the universe that shows new characters going through similar motions, but that we've already seen. So, does that mean this was a side-quel? If everyone will allow me to use this word? Or was it a reboot? Well, whatever we call it, it was a missed opportunity to tell a bigger story. Now, this isn't a new thing. We are honestly not surprised. The third Alien film, Alien 3, and the third Riddick film, whatever that was called, did this as well. They just went back and redid the structure of the first film after a second film cleverly expanded the story by mashing up different genre structures to tell that larger story that audiences were interested in and looking forward to and anticipating and had, leftover questions about after seeing the first film. It's only natural. And yet, that opportunity is just shut off. Now, we genuinely love the level of creativity when the story grows. It shows us how humans think about the potential of the universe. But we didn't get that this time. And so as a result, our assessment of A Quiet Place Day 1 presents a strong and meaningful story in the Quiet Place universe, but is also a missed opportunity to tell a more expanded story instead of a rough retelling of the first one. This film, therefore, earns our mixed review rating. And so concludes this human version of our review. If you have feedback on it, please write in your comments so that we can upload the galactic version to Zogplex. Now, you can expect more reviews of theatrical movies, streaming shows, and 4K video releases, and something else that's a little bit crazy that we're planning for the next one, as we continue to engage with your human rectangular entertainment. So please watch, like, subscribe, and comment. We love the comments that you guys are putting in now, so that we can continue to have the human voice reflected in the cosmos. So until next time, farewell, lovely humans.